Oh, this is going to ruffle some feathers. Motorcycle culture is packed with advice, some of it helpful, and some of it straight up brainless. We're talking myths passed down like sacred truth in garages and forums despite being total nonsense. So today, I'm calling it out. 10 motorcycle myths that just won't die. If you've ever fallen for one, don't worry. We've all been there. Let's fix it. Sports bikes are only for experienced riders. This one gets tossed around a lot. The moment you say you're looking at a sport bike, someone pipes up, "Better start with a cruiser. Sport bikes are too dangerous." The idea is that a fairing in a tucked riding position somehow makes the bike too much to handle. Spoiler, it's not about the category, it's about the specific model and your mindset. Yes, a lighter bike with 180 horsepower isn't a great first choice, but a Ninja 400? A Yamaha R3? These are lightweight, beginner-friendly machines designed to teach you how to ride, not kill you. They've got manageable power, forgiving handling, and enough speed to grow into it without throwing you off. Meanwhile, some cruisers are heavy, sluggish, and harder to control at low speeds, something no one warns new riders about. The myth here is that cruisers are safer and sport bikes are crazy. In reality, the danger comes from poor judgment, not plastic fairings. Choose a bike that fits your skill level, not just your aesthetic. Okay, so you picked the right bike, but now someone's warning you about downshifting. Let's clear that up too. Downshifting hurts your transmission. You'll hear this from people who treat their gearbox like it's made of glass. The myth says that downshifting, especially without rev matching, will grind the gears and destroy your transmission over time. That's only true if you downshift like a gorilla with no mechanical sympathy. Modern motorcycle transmissions are built to handle engine braking and gear changes under stress. In fact, properly executed downshifting helps you stay in the power band, control speed, and set up for turns. If you rev match while downshifting, you're reducing the stress on both the transmission and your rear tire. The real problem isn't downshifting, it's lazy clutch use. Slamming into a lower gear and dumping the clutch? Yeah, that's bad. But if you're using your clutch correctly and learning throttle blipping techniques, you're doing exactly what the bike was designed to handle. Don't blame downshifting for bad riding habits. Here's another funny myth that's kept way too many shorter riders off some of the best bikes on the market. You need to be tall to ride an adventure bike. This one keeps a lot of shorter riders away from ADV bikes altogether. People assume that if you can't flat foot both sides at a stop, you're automatically at risk of tipping over and dying in front of a Starbucks. Relax. It's just not true. Plenty of shorter riders, some well under 5'6", ride tall ADV bikes like the BMW GS or the KTM 890. They do it using one-foot stops, sliding slightly to one side when coming to a halt. Balance and technique matter more than inseam length. And with today's adjustable seat heights, lower suspension kits, and even factory-lowered models, there's more options than ever. Also, ADV bikes are some of the most versatile, confidence-inspiring machines once you're rolling. Light clutch, upright seating, and wide bars. It's easier to handle than you'd think. So if you're avoiding adventure bikes just because you're not 6 feet tall, don't. It's a myth that doesn't belong in 2025. Let's switch gears to the weather now because apparently rain turns roads into death traps. Or does it? Wet roads mean instant death on a motorcycle. This one comes from that friend who refuses to ride unless the sky is crystal clear and the pavement's bone dry. They act like the moment a raindrop hits the road, it's game over. Truth is, rain does change things, but it's not a death sentence if you know what you're doing. Modern tires are surprisingly good in wet conditions. They're designed with grooves and compounds that disperse water and maintain grip. As long as your tires have decent tread and you're not riding like you're in MotoGP qualifying, you're fine. Just avoid painted lines, manhole covers, and oil-slicked intersections. Those do get sketchy when wet. The key is smoothness. Brake earlier, lean gradually, and roll on the throttle like you're handling a sleeping baby. Panic inputs are what get people in trouble, not the water itself. So no, you don't need to hide your bike every time it clouds over. Rain riding is a skill, and once you learn it, you'll stop fearing it. Now we're diving under the tank because this next myth is costing riders money for no good reason. Aftermarket air filters give you a huge performance boost. Let's be honest, this myth lives on because of marketing and that one dude in every group chat who swears his bike gained 10 horsepower from a cone filter and a sticker. Here's the reality. Slapping on an aftermarket air filter alone isn't going to turn your bike into a rocket ship. Most stock air boxes are already well engineered to deliver the right airflow at street speeds. Throwing in a high-flow filter might change the intake sound and make the bike feel faster, but without a proper fuel remap or ECU tune, you're probably not gaining any real performance. In fact, in some cases, you might lose low-end torque or run leaner than ideal. If you're chasing performance, Intake mods should be part of a full system approach: exhaust, tuning, and sometimes even cam timing. Otherwise, you're just giving your bike a placebo and risking a dirtier engine. Get the facts before dropping cash on shiny parts with big promises. Alright, enough about hardware, let's talk technique, because this next myth has riders avoiding a skill that could actually save their lives one day. Trail braking is only for racers. You'll hear this one a lot in street riding circles. People think trail braking is some high-level racetrack-only technique that regular riders should never mess with. But that's like saying only chefs should know how to use a knife. Trail braking is not just for racers, it's for smart riders. Trail braking means you're gently releasing the front brake as you lean into a corner. It helps you fine-tune your speed, tighten your line if needed, and keep the front suspension loaded for better grip. That's not a racing trick, that's physics working in your favor. Now sure, if you yank the brake mid-turn like a caveman, you will crash. But done properly, trail braking makes you smoother, more in control, and way safer on unpredictable roads. Whether you're dodging gravel in a curve or adjusting mid-corner for a surprise minivan, this skill can save your skin. Learn it. Use it. It's not just for MotoGP. While we're on the topic of overconfidence, here's a myth that makes riders think they're crash-proof just because of one safety feature. ABS means you can't crash. This one might be the most dangerous myth of them all. People hear that their bike has ABS and suddenly think it's magic, like you can grab a fistful of brake on a wet road and come to a perfect stop every time. It's not how it works. ABS, anti-lock braking system, helps you. It prevents wheel lock-up during panic braking and gives you more control in emergency stops. It does not give you invincibility. You can still slide, high side, or hit something because of bad decisions or poor technique. ABS is a tool, not a parachute. If you brake late, ride too fast for conditions, or panic in a turn, ABS won't save you from physics. It's fantastic tech and every bike should have it, but it works best when you do your part. Riders like you don't have it and appreciate it when you do. Let's get back into mods, because a lot of riders think performance begins and ends with an exhaust swap. Not so fast. You should always upgrade your exhaust first. It's like a rite of passage for new riders. Get a bike, rip off the stock exhaust, and slap on the loudest aftermarket can you can find. The myth that an exhaust upgrade is the first and most important performance mod. In reality, it's more a fashion statement than a performance boost, at least at first. Yeah, a full exhaust system can improve power, reduce weight, and make your bike sound awesome, but only if it's paired with the right fuel tuning. Just throwing on a slip-on or open pipe doesn't magically make your bike faster. In some cases, it can even mess up your fueling, reduce torque, or trigger your check engine light. If you're doing it for the sound, cool. Just know what you're really getting. And if you're chasing performance, the exhaust should have come after you've dialed in your suspension, tires, and rider skill. Loud isn't fast, and money doesn't always equal speed. You can't ride long distances on a small bike. This one's a favorite of the bigger is better crowd. They tell you that unless you've got a 1200cc touring monster with a stereo and heated seat, you can't possibly enjoy long-distance riding. That's garbage. Riders have done cross-country trips on 250cc dual sports, old Honda Rebels, even Groms. What matters is comfort, not displacement. If your bike fits your body, has decent wind protection, and can maintain cruising speed, you can tour on it. Add some soft bags, plan your fuel stops, and you're golden. In fact, smaller bikes often mean less fatigue. They're lighter, easier to maneuver, and more fun on twisty roads. You might not hit 90 miles an hour on the freeway all day, but who said that's the only way to travel? Don't let engine size define what kind of rider you are or how far you can go. All right, last one, and it's a big one. This myth gives riders a false sense of confidence the moment they pass their license test. Once you pass your test, you know how to ride. Ah, yes, the graduation myth. You pass your motorcycle test, get your license, and suddenly, boom, you're a real rider. But here's the truth. That test is just the beginning. It proves you can balance and not hit a cone. It doesn't prepare you for wet hairpin turns, emergency braking on gravel, or dodging distracted drivers. Riding is a lifelong skill. You get better by doing, by taking advanced courses, by riding in all conditions, by making mistakes and learning from them. A license is just permission to start the journey, not a badge of mastery. Some of the most dangerous riders on the road are the ones who stop learning the moment they pass their test. Confidence is good. Complacency is not. So if you really want to ride better, keep pushing yourself. Learn new skills. Ride with people who are better than you. Being licensed isn't the goal, it's the launch pad. So, how many of these myths did you fall for? Don't worry, we've all believed dumb stuff at some point. Now I want to hear from you. What's the dumbest motorcycle myth you've ever heard? Or better yet, what's the one you used to believe until you found out the truth? Drop it in the comments. And hey, if you found this helpful or just fun to listen to, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. There's way more writing wisdom coming your way.